think that, I know you're psyched about your moral victory, you're good people, trust me, you're good Anglicans. I'm really so impressed by you morally, but like, has there been a downside in real terms? And he's like, oh, I can't answer that question, not allowed. So anyway, I just wanted someone to stand up and ask the obvious question. I'm not even arguing against a war with Iran. I'm merely saying there are consequences to doing that. One is we can't win it, probably, with the defense that we have currently. I think that's fair. But even if we could, I mean, what would happen if they mine the Straits of Hormuz? I mean, I'm no energy expert, but I think that we would have an immediate energy shock that would send our country into an economic spiral within like hours, okay? And we don't have any cushion because we burned it all, because the senile guy's running for president again, okay? And we sort of let that happen. We sold some of it to China. We sort of let it happen. So that's not a small thing. One thing Americans are not used to is being poor. In the rest of the world, people really worry about the economic effects of everything. Why wouldn't they? Because they're not generationally rich like us. But what if we ran out of money? At the very same moment that American society is more fractured, our social fabric is in tatters, and we've let in millions upon millions of people who have no affinity for the United States, who are merely here for the economic benefits, which, by the way, is not all bad, and I think a lot of them are good people. I'm not attacking them. I'm merely saying their addition does not make us a more cohesive country. It makes it a far less cohesive country, okay? No matter how admirable they may be, and I know some of them, and I really like them, okay? I've even met illegal aliens I really like. I'm just being honest. But if you have millions upon millions of people with no loyalty to the United States who are all on public benefits and the country goes bankrupt, what happens? You know, last time we had a depression, the country held together because Americans had a lot in common with each other. But what happens next time, honestly? Moreover, when your country's at war, civil liberties disappear. And we saw this in the last 20-year war on terror. And I supported all that stuff, and I have egg on my face. I'm worse than that. I'm ashamed of the measures that I supported, which were, of course, turned against me. And the NSA got busted reading my text messages on Signal, which is supposedly secure. Spoiler, it's not. So keep the naughty pictures off Signal, okay, because they're looking at them. But they did that. They got caught doing it. No one resigned or even apologized, and that was all legal because of the measures we put in place the last time we were fighting the bad guys over a 20-year period that measurably weakened the country and from which we derived nothing in the end. So I'm merely saying maybe we should just pause for 1 second to ask, could we be doing that again, but at scale? Not one person. You're not allowed. Because everything is some moral argument. Well, are you on the side of the bad guys? No. And so I look at how this is arrayed, and again, I can't tell you how disgusted I am by the behavior of people who said they were conservative and cared about the country and clearly don't. Because no one asked that question. They're all too afraid. And then the other side, the wackos running around calling for, the pro-Hamas people, decolonize, they're mad at Israel for being white and they want to kill everybody. Obviously, if forced to choose, I go with Ben Shapiro, okay? But I shouldn't have to choose. Like, there should be the America guy in the middle who's like, I have strong sympathies here, and, morally I'm on one side, but I'm an American, and I've got a ton of kids. Well, I'll speak for myself. I am an American. I was born here. I will die here. I have a ton of kids, and I kind of want them to be able to live here in a country that resembles the one in which I grew up. And what about them? Shut up! Oh, shut up's not good enough, actually. And the spirit of fear, and I hate to use the term, but groupthink, that has descended upon lawmakers and, I would say, movement leaders in Washington, where no one can say something that's completely obvious because, well, you're anti-Israel? Well, no one's going to call me anti-Israel. I like Israel. And one of the things I love about Israel, in addition to the fact it's beautiful and great food, took my kids there on vacation, is I like the Israelis. What do I like about the Israelis? They're proud of themselves and their country. I like that. I like secure people. But I don't know a single Israeli, and I say this as a compliment from my heart, I don't know a single Israeli who would jeopardize his own country's economy or safety for another nation. Because they care about their nation. Like, what the hell? I'm saying this as a compliment. But why would we do that? And when I see leaders on the left and right call for refugees from Gaza to be imported here, they're too dangerous for other countries, but we should take them? What are you saying? What are you saying about how you feel about my country? You're saying you consider it a trash bin. Throw the refuse there. No one else wants to deal with it. America will deal with it. Well, how about no? How about anyone who even suggests something like that? Speaking of a betrayal of your country, that's just telling me everything I need to know about how you feel about the United States of America. And I'm disgusted by it. Did you even think something like that? Really? And yet that is considered like kind of within bounds. And I notice there are a few Republicans who are like, well, that could happen, and we're going to pass legislation preemptively to make sure it doesn't. It's like, why would we even have that conversation? That is truly nuts. It's nuts. And more than anything, it's revealing of an attitude that is poisonous and that everyone else in the country can feel. They know it. And again, don't look to me because I live in my family summer house. I'm not pretending to be, what J.D. Vance actually is, which is a son of middle America, of working America. I'm not. But I try to observe, and I try to talk to people. I like people. And I can tell you, I can promise you, that the level of resentment toward those attitudes is extremely high. It's extremely high. And it absolutely should be.